to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, Adam here. Now, if you've ever felt nausea, you know what a horrible sensation it is. Quite often it's a feeling that precedes vomiting, but doesn't have to lead to vomiting. And sometimes it could be a really unsettled gut. A lot of the time it feels like it's around the chest and the throat. A horrible, horrible feeling. And I was working with a client that was pregnant. They were about 2 months pregnant, and it was much more severe sickness and nausea than their previous pregnancy. And they didn't want to feel that way. It was getting them down, making them sad, stopping them from doing things that they wanted to do. So in this hypnosis session, it takes a two-pronged attack. One is looking at the nausea as a signal from the body, and this idea that the signal is understood, and therefore the intensity of the signal is not required, is a good way of working with people with anything that has a subjective spectrum like pain or anxiety. We want to dial that down. So there's that element. The second element is that they had periods in their life where things that were undesirable had happened, and yet they dealt with them in a very different way. There was one moment where they fell down some stairs, bruised themselves, but it didn't stop them doing what they were planning on doing. And in social situations, a mean or nasty comment wouldn't get under their skin. It wouldn't trigger them. And that's used to highlight this idea that the pain or the nausea can be real, but the suffering is an internal strategy, quite often linked to victimhood and self-pity. Why me? Why do I have to deal with this? This isn't fair. And that creates the cycle that makes something real much worse. Whereas most people have had the experience of having something like a migraine or a toothache, but if they've got something important that they need to do or a deadline, while they're immersed in that new thing, the migraine or the toothache still exists, but they don't experience the same intensity because they are focused on other things. And that is used as a parallel for nausea, that actually, if as a result of nausea, they just lay down on a sofa or a bed and don't do much, then they've got more time to think about the nausea. Whereas if they feel the nausea and continue to do what they're going to do anyway, there is an element of distraction and being focused on other things. They don't quite dwell or wallow in the nausea to the same extent. So it's about framing it in a different way. It also has, for those people into NLP, some elements of submodality shifts. This client perceived their nausea as being like a heavy toxic gas. That's why there's a metaphor of ventilation, to remove that kind of feeling of weight and a smell and a sensation and a taste. All of those things are worked on in this session. Now, given that these were the sensations or the unconscious metaphors linked to the feeling of nausea for this client, it might be that you experience nausea in a different way. It might feel, rather than around the throat and the respiratory, it might be more in the gut. It might feel less like a toxic cloud of smoke or something like that, and more like something that's volatile, like a bubbling cauldron. It could be different for you. So treat this hypnosis session where you utilize anything that feels useful or beneficial, disregard anything that doesn't quite resonate. But if you do like the idea of a bespoke session specific to you and your circumstances, in the show notes there will be a link, and also on my website, adamcox.co.uk, there will be a link to book a free consultation call over Zoom. We'll have a chat, and it may be that we end up working together. So rather than just listening to my recordings, you end up working with me direct. And some people don't realize that the sessions that I share are on the basis of real life sessions. It isn't that I speak with a client and send them a recording. They experience my hypnosis sessions absolutely live in real time. It's just that because I'm in a recording studio, I record that audio and share it while protecting the confidentiality of the client. And the reason I do that is that there's 8 billion people in the world. There's going to be some people in the world that are close enough to the circumstances of the original client that means it's going to benefit them, but it will still benefit you even if you're not exactly in the same situation as the client, just not as much. And that's why people still work with me one-on-one, even though I publish so many recordings, because it is tailored and customized to them specifically. They're not getting a recording that was created for someone else. So if that appeals to you, check out that link. It's on adamcox.co.uk. But for now, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful feeling of release. Breathing in relaxation and exhaling anything that feels like it doesn't belong. I want you to use the power of your imagination and imagine a bright, glowing white light, almost like the very center of a star. And I want you to imagine breathing in this pure white light, going in through your nose into your lungs, pure, clean, vibrant. And as you exhale, imagine something toxic, sludgy, orange or brown, just leaving your body like a gas, just leaving your mouth, your nose, leaving your body in your outward breath. And when you breathe in that pure, glowing white light, healing white light. And imagine all of that brightness there in your lungs. And just imagine your heart taking that bright white and distributing it to every cell in your body. And in the same way that you can breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide without needing to do anything, just imagine breathing out anything impure, toxic, anything unpleasant. Breathing in what your body needs and exhaling anything that doesn't belong. It almost feels like this is an energetic transfusion. Breathing in what's clean, pure, and light, and exhaling what is heavy, dark, and toxic. And notice already a lightness around your chest, around your throat, a feeling expansive rather than confined. That's it. And because you're breathing in this pure white light, the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed and refreshed you feel. And the more relaxed and refreshed you feel, the deeper you breathe. A wonderful cycle of feeling healthier, cleaner, clearer, lighter. And every breath takes you deeper and deeper relaxed now. Eyelids getting heavier, muscles in your jaw starting to loose. Feel that looseness. That's it. Neck and shoulders relaxing. That's it. Every breath takes you deeper and deeper relaxed now. That's it. And I want you to imagine what it would feel like to see a slide, the kind of slide from your childhood, the kind of slide in a park, or the kind of slide that maybe you had in a garden when you were a child. Just imagine sliding down that slide, but it's a long slide, taking you from your conscious to your subconscious. And as I count down from 10 to 1, you will imagine continuing to slide down that slide. And when you get to the end, you will imagine yourself in pure, pristine nature. On a sunny day with a light, gentle breeze. But for now, let's slide down the slide. Each descending number takes you deeper and deeper relaxed. 10, sliding down. 9, feel the fun, the lightness. 8, sliding down more. Feels exhilarating, freeing. 7 turns to 6, continuing down the slide. Imagine at the top of the slide is thick, toxic gas, and as you slide down, you're getting further from the gas and more towards clean, clear nature air. 6 goes to 5, halfway down the slide now, and then 4. Feel the sensation of a breeze or the air hitting your face as you slide down faster down the slide. 4 turns to 3. And imagine seeing the tops of trees now. Continuing down. And maybe hear running water below like a stream. 2 turns to 1, and just imagine now 1 turns to 0. Just feel like you've slid all the way down this slide from a toxic atmosphere to clean, clear nature. And I want you to imagine yourself in that place of unspoilt nature. Only nature, blue skies, sunshine, the breeze. That's it. I want you to get a feeling of what it would feel like to be breathing in pure, fresh air. And just imagine somewhere nearby in that nature of trees and leaves and running water and fresh air, there's a comfy chair, perhaps the comfiest chair you can ever imagine, there in nature. Imagine sinking into that comfortable, relaxing chair. Imagine closing your eyes there in the nature. And as you continue to drift comfortably inward, you realize that there's no need to fight or resist anything at all. Your body already knows how to do something important. It already knows how to send a signal without needing to turn the volume up. That a message can be delivered without the alarm continuing to blare. And I want you to think about nausea, not as a problem, but as a signal. Somewhere deeper, your mind can recognize that the nausea itself is not the problem. It's the intensity, the density, and the weight. And that can now begin to change. You can allow your subconscious to keep what's useful while releasing what's excessive. The signal has already been received. The body heard it. It doesn't need to shout anymore. And just like turning down a dimmer switch, not switching anything off, just lowering it to a more comfortable level. You've done that before. You've gone into a room and it was just too bright, too intense, so you turned the lighting down. Or you entered a room where the music was just too loud and you just turned it down to the right level. So allow your system to begin to do that naturally now. Low levels of nausea is part and parcel of pregnancy and what you're experiencing, but it doesn't need to be more intense than it needs to be. You've heard the signal, got the message, so let's dial it down. And I want you to think about how you have been thinking about nausea, that thick, heavy, toxic gas. Maybe yellow or brown, that metallic, rotten, dense taste. Like smog, sitting low and stagnant. You don't need to push it away. Instead, simply notice that even smog and toxic gas behaves differently when air begins to move. So let's use your imagination and begin to imagine a gentle ventilation starting somewhere nearby. It could be mechanical like a fan, but nature already has ventilation. Convection currents are called wind or breezes. And I want you to imagine experiencing that airflow. Like a breeze moving through trees. Hear the leaves shifting, branches opening space. Feel the air begin to circulate. And that heavy gas doesn't need to be fought. It naturally thins. Imagine feeling the density reducing. Imagine the thickness turning into something light, opaque, transparent. That thick cloud of toxic gas is now thinner and thinner. What was thick becomes less dense, and what was stagnant begins to dissipate. And as this happens, you may notice colors beginning to change. And don't be surprised if, when you notice the changes, you notice a physical alteration or adaptation within your body. Tightness becomes released. Heaviness becomes light. Something confining and restricted becomes open, expansive. So just imagine those murky yellows and browns, to paler tones, to lighter shades, like a pale blue or a bright glowing white. See the color that represents clean freshness, something with a glow, brightness. It feels pure and healthy. And notice that when the gas feels like it's gone away, when the colors feel bright and light, notice how difficult it is to find that metallic, rotten taste. In fact, imagine someone passes you a delicious citrus fruit. Maybe it's an orange, or something more bitter like a lemon or lime. Perhaps something with a tangy sensation, a grapefruit. Maybe it's sweet, maybe it's sour, but it's tangy. It's fresh. It's powered by sunshine and rainwater. Pure water inside this citrus fruit. And I want you to imagine taking a bite. Citrus fruits are filled of tiny pods that explode with flavor. And just imagine them exploding all over the taste buds. And notice the combination of this taste, this smell, this breeze, this lightness. Notice that when you feel this way, nausea seems elusive, in the same way that a tree cannot be planted in the desert. I want you to get a sense that nausea can't exist here when you feel this way. You know the sensation of fresh air after rain, your lungs filling easily like space returning. Nothing forced, just ventilation and nature doing what moving air does. Some people think of the planet as a system. If something is too toxic, movement changes it. Water can become stagnant when it stops moving. And in the past, you've used stopping moving as a coping strategy. But what if the best coping strategy is to feel undeterred, to do what you were going to do anyway? Motion creates emotion. I want you to notice that this isn't about feeling amazing. It's just about feeling neutral. Fresh air, open space, nature. A body that can breathe again. And even if a trace of sensation remains, it sits in the background now, no longer center stage, and no longer dominating awareness. You've made the small thing bigger than it needed to be. Not because you were doing anything wrong. You were trying to do the right thing in the wrong way. But where focus goes, energy flows. And if the focus is on the nausea, you will notice more nausea. I want you to recall a time when you were bruised, in pain, but because your focus was on moments, experiences, conversations, you noticed less pain. If that's true with pain, it's also true with nausea. And sometimes we make things worse unintentionally. And in a dialogue of self-pity or frustration or manic or reactive problem solving, implies that you're the victim. And there's no judgment. They're understandable, rational responses. But your mind already knows another voice. There's been times in your life where things were hard, difficult, unpleasant. But your inner dialogue sounded very different. Awaken that inner dialogue now, the one that sounded like pride, tenacity, gratitude. And maybe at some level, you knew it was uncomfortable, and yet you felt undeterred. Think of a friend from your past that nausea didn't stop them doing what they wanted to do. Feel that thought, idea, belief awakening within you. Awaken a way of thinking about this so it becomes less of a big deal, something manageable. Not about drama, not about force, just knowing you have a choice. I want you to think that there is perhaps thousands of people experiencing something more intense than your nausea. And maybe some of those are pregnant, maybe some aren't. Maybe some are going through difficult medical treatments and others difficult pregnancies. And I want you to compare your nausea to something much worse. So you start to feel that even though it's not great, it's manageable, it could be worse. And maybe what once was calling sadness, frustration, pity can now cause perspective that leads to gratitude. A sign that it's a small price to pay. There is someone in the world right now that would gladly take 4 times your nausea if it meant they could be pregnant. And I want you to get a sense that sometimes things aren't as you want them to be. But what if it's a small price to pay? The ticket for the admission is worth all that you can and will experience. Because you don't need to like any sensation to move forward anyway. Unpleasant does not mean unmanageable. Hear that voice, that inner dialogue that sounds undeterred, telling you that this nausea is a small price in a short chapter for something profoundly healthy and meaningful. Good things have always come in your life after periods of endurance. This is not punishment. This is an investment to help give you resilience perspective. I want you to get a feeling that you know how to make something that bothers someone else not bother you. Drift back to a memory in a social situation where someone said something mean or rude, passive-aggressive or snarky, and it felt like water off a duck's back. Didn't bother you at all. Awaken that neural network and allow that neural network to connect with feeling that way about nausea. Instead of what if this gets worse, how long will this go on for, imagine thinking, this is temporary, this is manageable, I can handle this. And doing whatever you were going to do anyway. Knowing that your mind can only focus on a few things. And that's 7 or 8 balls that fit in that bucket of focus and attention. When you fill the bucket with things you want to be doing, what if there's no space left for any nausea? It exists. You just don't experience it. So activate those same emotional muscles, that same resilience, and allow your unconscious to apply it effortlessly. You know how to make things less bothersome or more. I want you to feel a sense of everything is dialing down its intensity. And if it has to be there, you accept it. But that doesn't mean you can't change how you think about it. Changing thick gas to light gas to no gas. Strong, heavy smells to no smells. Heaviness to lightness. That's it. Just allow yourself to know that you're more in control of what meaning you give things and how you think about things. Part of you locks in a new identity, where there is less nausea when it's possible, and yet undeterred when it's present. No spiraling, no collapse, just a calm knowing. The Stoics understood that pain doesn't need to mean suffering. Nausea does not mean you need to suffer. And when you accept that fully, it loses control and intensity. Imagine the next few days and weeks. The nausea is not even described as nausea, just sensations, light feelings of turbulence inside, manageable. See that future version of you lighter, smiling more, breathing more freely, more yourself again. Like a chapter has faded into a new chapter. Things are getting easier, there's more joy. And I want you to see yourself with a new level of resilience, a new level of being empowered with a new level of quiet pride. That's it. And just allow yourself now to leave that place in nature and to start floating all the way back to your present. And as you do so, feel that new identity has awakened. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect and calibrate into the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.